MVP favorite right now, Baker Mayfield. He had a media availability, and he just did some more Baker Mayfield things. Let's take a listen.
I love this. Pregame in the tunnel with that Seahawks fan and being able to have the last word.
Pretty fun.
Baker, is there something where you kind of realize maybe your younger years, I don't know if you were as accepted for doing some of that stuff, and now it seem like it's a little bit more embraced. You know, people gravitate to it a little bit more. The narrative changes around that. Do you notice that?
Yeah, I mean, I told you guys I try and not get too high, not get too low, which is something that I was not doing early on in my career. But, early on in my career, it's looked as cocky, immature. Now it's moxie, he's a dog. So it's same, different day. Just as long as you play well, they change the narrative. But you just got to be yourself, and I've always been like that.
I love this.
You do what you want when you're popping, huh?
I love it. Mm-hmm. Baker Mayfield's exactly right. Like, we have to find a way to describe play. Well, one thing I hate, I call it journalistic jargon. What I mean by that, T, is oftentimes fans or commentators or analysts will say, that defense is soft because you give up 250 rushing yards. The defense is not soft.
It's had a bad day.
A bad day. Out of alignment. Didn't fit right gaps. Didn't make you soft. They might be dumb, but they're not soft. But we call a bad rushing defense soft. Nothing about it was soft. They just didn't fit the A-gap. Simultaneously, Baker Mayfield, when you're not playing well and you're doing the same things, oh, he's cocky. He's too arrogant. But now, oh, he a dog. He a beast. I've always loved Baker Mayfield. I love Baker Mayfield because how he played against my alma mater at Texas. Baker, a different type of killer. Y'all got to remember Baker's upbringing. Baker Mayfield grew up 15 minutes from Austin, Texas, didn't get offered by UT, walks on at Texas Tech, leaves Texas Tech because he was going to have to be in a quarterback competition, I believe, with Davis Webb, leaves Tech, goes to Oklahoma, beats out the quarterback at Oklahoma, wins the Heisman, #1 overall pick, joins the Cleveland Browns team that was 1-31 in their previous 2 seasons, leads the Browns to the first playoff win and first playoff appearance in 10 years and 25 years, respectively. Baker Mayfield has always been a killer. He's always been a killer. And the confidence of Baker Mayfield is what's allowed him to transcend to these heights. So I feel like everybody was wrong about Baker. And I'm glad we're talking about Baker off of Shedeur T. Because what the same lie the Browns told us about Baker, they're trying to tell us about Shedeur. And I hope y'all catch it this time.
Wow.
The same lie that Baker Mayfield can't play, and we have a better quarterback on this roster, or we can find a better quarterback than Baker, is the same lie they're telling us about Shedeur. Thankfully, we've all now realized it's a lie. So what I'm cautioning y'all watching this show is understand what they told you about Shedeur is what they said about Baker. We know what they said about Baker's a lie. Baker been a dog. He been a dog. What you think, T?
To me, it's if Baker Mayfield's confidence comes off as arrogance to you, that's a you problem. That has nothing to do with Baker Mayfield. That's a you problem. And when you're Baker Mayfield, people will say, I mean, you were the first pick of the draft. How can you feel like you were underserved, you're slighted, and people... It's because of what you said. Every kid growing up in Texas is not as fortunate as Emmanuel Acho and get a scholarship offer from Texas or Texas A&M. He had to walk on at Texas Tech.
Yeah.
And Texas Tech is a great football program now,
Yeah.
but they weren't back then. So you feel slighted by that. Even though he's a #1 pick, he still feels the disrespect of, damn, Texas and Texas A&M didn't even offer me. And so I've always liked Baker. And when you see Baker leave Cleveland and then go to Carolina and go to the Rams and now in Tampa Bay and have the type of success that he's had, it makes the Cleveland Browns look like, do y'all even know what y'all doing?
Yeah.
Do you guys know what y'all doing? So I love Baker Mayfield, and I never had a problem with him being who he is. But media, we in the media, because we're media now, we can spin the narrative and make it be this. Keep being you because now you're winning. They love you. He gonna win MVP if he stay healthy.
Yeah. I'll say this about that too with Baker. Bad teams are bad teams for a reason. Bad coaches are bad coaches for a reason. If you're playing for the Browns and for the Panthers, chances are you're going to look a whole lot different playing for the Rams or the Buccaneers now. I mean, it's just completely different. Baker's been an absolute dog. And like I said, I have no reason to like the guy. But
You know what's crazy, though, is I said this yesterday. I didn't get y'all's response. Baker Mayfield, I would be surprised if he doesn't win a Super Bowl. Reason being the way that offense is dialed up and the way Baker's playing quarterback. Now, defense, I can't speak to that. I think Colin Cowherd coined the term Baker Mayfield being quarterbacks being confetti guys. Can you see confetti dropping down on a quarterback on a Super Bowl? Baker Mayfield, to me, at this point, looks like a confetti guy.
I'd be surprised if they won a Super Bowl.
Really?
I would.
Okay, then I answer this.
I would.
Because winning a Super Bowl has so much to do with other talent. Is Baker Mayfield a confetti guy? Can you see him winning a Super Bowl?
If Baker Mayfield is surrounded by talent on both sides of the ball, yes. When I look around the NFL, I just see so many teams that I feel are better. And could they beat them when it mattered? I don't think so. I don't see them being able to beat the Green Bay Packers when it matters, the Rams when it matters, the Eagles when it matters. Is that because of Baker? It's not because of Baker. It's the team.
Got it. So Baker himself, you think, is good enough at this point in time?
Yeah. Okay. The way Baker is playing in the last 3 minutes of games.
Yeah.
No lie. When the Bucs get the ball and it's more than a minute left, I'm like, oh, they winning the game. That's the type of confidence I have in Baker Mayfield now. Like, oh, a minute, one timeout, they're gonna win.
Let me push back on something, and you're a wide receiver, because you said Baker Mayfield is surrounded by talent. But there comes a point in time where we have to say, maybe Baker Mayfield makes those around him more talented. Emeka Egbuka, top flight receiver right now in the league already. He was never the number one receiver on his own college team. It was Olave, followed by Marvin Harrison Jr., followed by Jeremiah Smith. He was always the number 2. Go back and fact check me, please. Fact check me. If it wasn't Olave, whoever was ahead of Marvin Harrison Jr. Garrett Wilson.
Yes.
Yeah. There it is. It was Garrett Wilson, Olave and co., then Marvin Harrison, then Jeremiah Smith. Emeka Egbuka was never the number 1 receiver on his college team. He goes to the league with Baker, and all of a sudden, he looks like a bona fide number 1 NFL wide receiver. I'm giving that credit to Baker.
You know why, though? Mike Evans is hurt. Chris Godwin is coming off an injury, so he's not even 100% yet. Yep. He was forced into that role. Emeka Egbuka, he went back to school his senior year because he wasn't going to be a first-round pick. So he comes back, has a great season, and he was a surprise first-round pick to many. Some thought he would be a second-round pick. I just feel like, is Baker Mayfield a good quarterback? Will he make – to me, it goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
Because if Mike Evans and Chris Godwin aren't in Tampa Bay, I'm not so sure Baker has the success that he's had without them. And so he has really good receivers that make plays, and now he's so – like that post route he threw to Egbuka. It was a perfect throw. It was a perfect throw. I don't know if Baker makes that throw prior to him going to the Tampa Bay. He may not even throw that ball.
He might not throw it.
And now the confidence that he's gotten from playing with those guys has made him a better player also.
Yeah. No, Egbuka is a dog. He's an absolute dog. I mean, he did lead Ohio State in stats last year. The chat wanted to let you know. But still, he was not the number one. He wasn't the number one. He wasn't the number one. Jeremiah was the number one.
He's the all-time leading receiver in Ohio State history.
It's crazy. But he got to play 4 years. He played those years, though.
Don't get
I'm not going to lie. That might be how talented Ohio State is.
But to the chat, let me correct the chat correcting me. Okay. He was not the number 1. I was on the sideline of the Texas-Ohio State game, college football playoffs last year. Jahdae Barron, at number 1 first-round pick for the Broncos, they were worried about Jeremiah Smith. Yep. I was right by the defensive back. Nobody was talking about Emeka Egbuka.
No,
not in a negative way. Yeah. It was just a stop Jeremiah Smith.
Yeah, exactly.